Take note of the man with the chainsaw and observe his actions.
Just a few hours north of his village, you can see what John's worried about.
I stand horrified!
In that video, you just witnessed the horrors of the ecosystem issue of deforestation. Two big questions that remain so far with deforestation. Number one, where is it happening? And number two, where does it happen the most? Now, in terms of where does it happen, here's the big issue with this. You can't really pinpoint it to a single area, as deforestation is everywhere. Everywhere in the world, there is some form of deforestation being committed on the ecosystem in any country. However, while every country may be responsible in some way, shape, or form for deforestation, 60% of deforestation arrives from Brazil, Canada, the United States of America, Indonesia, China, Russia, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. These countries are primarily responsible for deforestation. Now, in addition, the Amazon rainforest is the world's biggest deforestation area. Since the year 1970, the rainforest has lost 15% of its almost 2.5 million miles squared of area of forest. The next big question, the next major question that must be asked is, who specifically is responsible for the deforestation crisis? Now, first thing is first, humans are primarily responsible for deforestation. All deforestation is generally based around some intent or purpose on a humanistic level. Now, there are four specific causes for human involvement in deforestation. A is to clear space for crop and livestock. B, to extract wood for other use. C, agricultural growth necessity. And this is actually considered to be the biggest factor, as people require this for sustenance and growth as human beings. And D, deforestation is primarily done, in addition to all the other three parts, for road building and urbanization. Now, there are two underlying causes, which are minor and have no human involvement, really. In other words, they're out of human control. Now, firstly, poverty can cause people to move to the forest front and destroy forests for the sake of inhabitants, causing deforestation in that situation. In addition, economic situations can persuade deforestation in order to create more source of money on the side for better revenue and income. Another question that must be asked is, how long has deforestation been happening in history? Well, it has been occurring since prehistoric times, but it has only really become a problem since 1852, when there was a sudden sharp increase. Since then, about a good 1/3 of the world's original forest has been taken care of completely by human purpose and intention. There are 5 main reasons as to why deforestation occurs in an ecosystem. One particular reason is the need for human sustenance. Now, in forests, there are many different kinds of trees. Particular trees harbor fruit or vegetables which may prove beneficial to human sustenance later on, which is the need to cut down those specific trees. In addition, trees are also cut down for the need for more living space and agricultural space, both of which are economic endeavors in their own right. In addition, wood is often used for shelter and survival, which also furthers the need to cut down trees for that purpose. And in addition, over the time, tree pulp and hardwood has grown very high in value, and as a result, trees are harvested for this particular reason and then cut and sold to earn income and revenue. Climate change is an abiotic factor that is very much a part of deforestation. In addition, trees help pass the water cycle, and without them, forest land can easily become desert land. Soil dries out very quick without proper sunlight. Also, sun rays are more pronounced due to the lack of canopy in deforestation, adding further to the change in climate and the water cycle. Trees are also what are responsible primarily for absorbing the greenhouse gases that cause global warming, so not having them around could be detrimental in the end. There are 2 main biotic factors that are affected by deforestation. Number 1, by taking out the canopy layer of the trees in deforestation, animals and plants can face threatening concerns to their existence later on, due to more pronounced sun rays. In addition, millions of animal species lose their habitat as a result of deforestation, forcing them to either migrate to a new location or die in that area alone. In terms of short-term effects, only one real effect is short-term, and that is droughts/floods. With no trees present to absorb water, either or can occur in deforested areas. Other than this, everything is really just a long-term effect. There are three long-term effects present with deforestation. First off, global warming is an effect present on the long-term end of things. With no trees left to take in the greenhouse gases, over time, a steady increase of the global warming factor will begin to be seen. Second, with more sun exposure, one can expect to see more soil erosion become a factor in what is left of forests. The last real major factor is the extinction of the many million animal species that take refuge within forests. They are forced to either move to a new location or die out. Over the past 2 decades, so many species have been wiped out by deforestation, and this will only increase over time unless the problem is handled as such. There are already different methods being employed to handle deforestation. One happens to be sustainable forestry, in which more trees are planted to replace trees that were lost due to deforestation. In addition, there is also erosion control. This practice basically means to prevent erosion in the wildlife and proves very helpful against deforestation, as erosion is one of its side effects. The last thing being done to fight it is stewardship, which is planning and management of resources that prove beneficial towards woodsmen to ensure that they do not overstep their bounds. There is also research out there that can be used for future remedies. For one thing, due to the political sphere, employing a series of laws and rules to prevent the felling of trees could prove useful in the future. In addition, creating a ban on the clear-cutting of forests would also be a very good idea, as that way, woodsmen will not be allowed in such territory. In addition, it would be more prudent for more people to plant younger trees to replace the cut trees, so that way, you'll eventually be able to counteract the number of trees cut and return to a system in which deforestation becomes a very little of a problem. Now, there are both small ways and large ways to remedy the disturbance. Some small ways are to become involved with efforts to plant more trees, try to petition to go against deforestation. In addition, you can buy products from the store that are insured to not be under the Deforestation Act, and also you can protest against the issue. Here are 2 large ways you could pass against the disturbance. Try appealing to the political sphere. Congregate as a group and go forth to stake the claim that deforestation must be stopped. In addition, the last part must be taken on the part of Congress, and they must pass legislation in order to handle deforestation as well, as they have the power to do so.